Hey guys, and welcome to this special pick a card reading. As you can see, I'm in a different spot, and this reading is by the grace of my spirit guides and angels. They allowed me to do this. This is actually a gift from them, and I'm actually at my altar right now, and they told me to do this reading, and I was like, okay, wonderful, thank you. So this reading, this pick a card reading, is messages from your divine counterpart. I've never done a reading like this before. I've done other love readings, yes, but this one was very special to me, and that's what they made clear. So here we are. We have the 4 groups, and today we're going to be using the regular tarot cards. These are actually a special deck as well that I keep on my altar. These are the first cards that I ever used on the channel that I kind of retired a while ago. I also have some playing cards here. These are actually Spanish playing cards, and I have the written messages as well over here that I haven't used in a while. So here are the 4 options today for our reading, and I haven't done a love reading in a while, so here we go. So the 4 groups, go with whatever your gut is calling out to the most, and the timestamps are going to be in the description and in the comments as usual. Keep in mind it's a general reading and it might not resonate 100%. So if you'd like a personal reading, the link is in the description, and I'll have some slots open soon. I'm planning to open some on Friday, but it'll take some time for me to catch up, so please be patient with me. Thank you for that. So the 4 groups, I'll give you each one by one, and then we'll get into the messages. So group number 1 is going to be the feather. Group number 2 is the rose quartz. Group number 3 is the incense. This is Palo Santo and frankincense. And group number 4 is the athame. Okay, so again, take a deep breath and go with whichever one is calling you the most. And whenever you are ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 1, which is the feather. Okay, so spirit guides, angels, for group number 1, please, what are the messages from their divine counterpart? Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 1. Okay. Spirit, for group 1, please, what are the messages from their divine counterpart, please, and thank you. Divine counterpart, I invite you into this reading for group 1 for any of the messages that you would like to deliver to them today. Oh my goodness, we have the temperance card that immediately came through. Temperance card, messages from their divine counterpart, Spirit, please, and thank you. Okay, group 1. So here's the temperance card. It's already a good start if you have an angel here on the image. Then here we have the justice card, another major arcana. We have the Tower, my goodness, the third major arcana in a row. And we have another one, the Chariot. And in between we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so let me try to get a feel for your divine counterpart here, because this is a little bit of new energy and to me a new way of doing things. Ultimately, what I'm seeing here, it's a little bit of a mix of the messages they have for you directly in terms of their thoughts towards you, as well as your journey to meeting each other, okay? So there's a lot of healing and a humongous shift here that is happening for you currently, or if it's not already started, it will very soon. This is ultimately going to lead you to this balance and to this healing. And the Tower card is right here in the middle. So some of you haven't reached this point yet. So you may actually be currently on the journey to your healing and your balance, but then something right in the middle is going to kind of make you feel like you're going to fall over. That's okay. When this happens, just be prepared, because I do see that coming towards you in the future. But ultimately, again, besides healing and balance, you're going to have foundation, you're going to have stability, and a lot of prosperity. So that was a little bit more from Spirit. So Divine Counterpart here is telling you the same thing. Your Divine Counterpart is seeming to me to be very wise. They are vibrating at a much higher frequency than I guess I'm used to here. They do feel like higher self, like the vibration of higher self. It's just very mature and very old and wise kind of a feeling here. So let me see if I can channel what they want to say to you. Divine Counterpart of Group 1, please. What are your messages for them today? Of Group 1, please, the Feather. What are your messages? Okay, Six of Swords. Move on from something. They're telling you move on from something. It might be conflict that we see here at the bottom. It might be, I don't know, a person. It might be a situation that simply doesn't serve you. And when they say move on, it is obvious to them, it is obvious to you, or it might be extremely soon, that it doesn't serve you, that it's not right for you, that it doesn't fit you. There's something of a puzzle piece that's not fitting. You're trying to cram it into place, and you have to stop doing that, is what they are saying. That's what I'm telling you about your divine counterpart. They're really a little bit, it's almost like a tough love energy is kind of what I'm feeling from them. They're here to protect you. So that's another message that they had. They're saying, I want to protect you. I want to protect you from this harm. Even for some of you, they're saying, I want to protect you from yourself. They're kind of acting as this guiding star in the sky, as a beacon to come back to where you belong. And that is an incredibly beautiful message, very poetic, very romantic. Slow down is another thing that they said. Slow down in general if you're rushing, if you can't breathe, if you have this feeling of anxiety or like an unsettled kind of it's like an earthquake within you, especially within the space of your heart, is really what I'm feeling here. A feeling of, it could be like a feeling of unworthiness as well, and uncertainty of self, okay? So if you were to slow down for a moment and align yourself with the heart chakra, the energy of love, especially from the divine, which is accessible at all times, you would begin to feel that internal healing, balance, shift, and then ultimately prosperity and movement forward. So with the cards we have out so far, Divine Counterpart, do you have anything else that you would like to say to Group 1 as of yet? Let it fall is another thing that they said, with the Six of Swords and the Tower. So let it fall means to me that you've been resisting. You've been resisting letting something fall. And that's okay, because that's a natural human response, is to have fear of change or the unknown. Very, very human. So another piece of that, let it fall. Let means allow, in this case, allow. And if you've been fighting something, even if it was unintentionally resisting something as a result of fear, the word allow means, okay? So when we take a deep breath and we release that tension, we are really just surrendering, and we're settling into a feeling of basically being neutral and at peace, that inner stillness. And that's exactly what these two cards, both of these two cards, are showing us, to be centered, to be in that balance and moderation. Well, yes, these two cards are perfectly representing that feeling. Okay, so over here, you know, you do have the prosperity, you do have the movement, but right now, that's sort of the paradox, is right now the answer is to stay still. And with the Six of Swords here, and basically being that hallmark card of moving on and moving forward, some of you don't even have to do anything in order to move on. You just have to let, is really what the message is. With the Ten of Pentacles here, I do feel that this is a card for the future and what you can expect later down the line. The Ten of Pentacles is actually a card of family. It's a card of legacy. It's a card of foundation, stability. There's a lot of intricate energies within this one card. There's a lot going on here. It's interesting. It's creative. It's fruitful. It's also very complicated, which makes me curious about that. I don't know what they're trying to say. It could be just something within your situation is a little bit complex. Maybe in a good way. Maybe you guys like a challenge. Maybe you guys love a challenging situation and you don't like it just you don't like things to just be going from point A to B. You like something that's more interesting, like a movie with a lot of different twists and turns or something like that. Okay, so Divine Counterpart, is there anything else that you have just from these cards that you would like to tell group 1? They are showing me an image of a something like a splashing cycle of some kind. So that could be signifying something having to do with your own inner cleansing that still needs to take place desperately, is what they're saying. Again, your counterpart here is kind of like pushing you. I have a feeling that your divine counterpart is probably the one who's a bit older or more experienced, okay? And they're very, I don't want to use the word pushy because that's not what it is, but they're very firm and they're very persistent. And they are absolutely looking out for your highest good here. And they know that there's been repeating cycles that you've been enduring for such a long time. You've been struggling with for such a long time. And they're trying to really nail something down here in terms of the message. So as many times as you have to cleanse yourself and repeat that cycle, they want you to do that. Another added message with that vision is something having to do with the ocean or the beach, or for some of you, if that resonates with something in the memory of childhood, could be significant as well. So there's a lot of rich imagery in just this one vision. It's very peaceful. It's incredibly peaceful and calm. It's very very relaxing. Like, it makes me want to go to the beach. And that's the second time I've heard that today, which was cool. So anyway, they're asking you to sort of dip back into the playful energies. This is pure innocence. It reminds me of the Six of Cups, which is also a soulmate card. So they want you to dip back into that energy of playful childhood innocence and just enjoy your life again, because a lot of you have been striving to get somewhere and push forward and always future, when in reality, you don't have to wait or get anywhere, when there are many gifts and sort of these experiences of peace that you can have right here and right now that are available to you now, is what they're saying. Even if it's just mentally or within your heart, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of beauty. There's a natural beauty. They're saying to you that you are naturally beautiful and authentic. If you feel sort of enshrouded with the darkness right now, that will fade, that will fall away. That's another thing the Tower is talking about here. And they want you to be your authentic and beautiful and pure self, because this is where you truly shine without any of the dark cloaks. I'm getting the Five of Cups in my head. This is depression or sadness or loss or grief or any of these negative emotions. It could also be anxiety for some of you. So your divine counterpart sees the truth of your beauty and your light. It's really amazing. They are so loving. They are so, so loving. And I'm getting like this purity within their heart space. They're just a beautiful creature. And I'm seeing an image of their eyes. I'm not really getting much. I can't really comment on physical attributes because everyone is a different thing. But this person, I'm seeing their eyes, and they're so very experienced, and they are awakened, they are enlightened, and that is exactly why it's almost like they're holding out their hand to you to lead the way. This is going to be for many of you a spiritual kind of a guidance because they are with you currently. I don't know if this is the way that it works per se, but I feel like they've been with you from the start. Almost like a spirit guide in a weird way. So they are reaching out their hand to guide you, and they're also telling you you're never alone. Okay. This is going to make me cry. So I think I've already, those of you who are regulars on my channel, you do see that this is very different than what I normally do. For one thing, I only drew cards like once or twice, and that is very unusual for me. So I'm going to get the other cards now. I don't know how much clarity I'll get from this, but I was called to use this deck. This is just the Spanish playing cards. There's not even that many, but let's see what might come through here. Divine Counterpart, do you have any messages for us for group 1? Okay, so we have a couple cards here. Oh, isn't that interesting? We have the Six of Swords again. Oh my goodness. They're super pushing you, nudging you to move on from something or to release something, to drop something. Now, in this imagery, they're saying that whatever it is harmful for you. This is going to look different, of course, for everyone. It could be a harmful way of thinking. It could be a harmful way of treating yourself. It could be a harmful pattern that you're stuck in regards to, again, like connections, relationships, or your environment or something like that. So they're really saying with double confirmation here, it's time to move on. So with the Three of, okay, this is the Three of Cups. And we have this this 11 here. This, I think, could be the, I'm assuming this is the Knight of Swords in this deck. And this is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so with the Three of Cups here, we'll put it this way. With the Three of Cups coming through here, they're basically just saying that with the energy of the Knight of Swords, this is forward energy, this is forward movement, really showing through with the Chariot card as well. Forward movement and opening up the blockage that was in your way from eventually meeting them, from eventually your own success. Let's see here. Divine Counterpart, what do you mean by the Three of Cups, please? Oh, okay. They said there's someone else's involvement that is affecting something here. So someone else's involvement in regards to the harm aspect or something having to do with the moving on aspect is what they said. So there's, again, forward movement here with the 11, with the Knight of Swords imagery here. Forward movement, but there's also hesitation and leading into the Four of Pentacles, which is the blockage, okay? So Divine Counterpart, what do they need to know about this blockage then? The Four of Pentacles or the Four of Coins? There may be something having to do with a compromise that's needed here for you, or to pick a side is kind of what they're saying. All right. Do you have anything else to say, Divine Counterpart, for group 1? Okay, so I'm going to get this one because I think that this is important. The number 3 is really something that they're nailing down here. You have the Three of Swords. On the traditional card, it's a heart being impaled by 3 different swords, for those of you that aren't familiar. And then over here we have the Three of, what their version of is of wands, the clubs. Okay. They're definitely saying that something needs to be dropped, and they're really referring to a burdensome energy. And the number 3 specifically might be significant with whatever it is that they're talking about. So For some of you, yes, this might be talking about a third party type of a deal, but others of you, it's just something having to do with the number 3, perhaps. I think what I'll do is I'll get just one more draw of each one, or whichever one, and then I'll get the written messages. Okay, so let's say moving forward a little bit further into the future, Divine Counterpart, what are your messages? What is your message for group 1? Okay. So I do feel, oh, here it is, by the way, it showed up at the bottom of the deck. Okay, now, again, they're calling you out on that. So not that they're kind of using a blame lens, but they are saying that there's a part of this that you can improve on, and you may not be choosing to do so. So they, in a sense, view you like the 10 of Wands. They're kind of telling you that as the person is in this card, you are holding up the burdens that you don't need to be holding up. And they are saying, yes, of course, it is time to let those go. The Judgment card is here indicating that I was looking into the future energy. The Judgment card is here to say that as we move forward into the future, that there will be this enlightenment, and I am drawn to the fact that there are 3 main figures here down there, okay? So I do wonder what this could mean. In this case, it could be talking about a divine masculine and a divine feminine and a child, because that is what it looks like from this card. I don't know if that resonates for you at all, but that's something that I saw. And then here is the 2 aces. 2 aces. We have the cups and the swords, okay? So with the Judgment card, sort of like an enlightenment and almost like a rebirth, with the 10 of Wands, which is the completion of some kind of a cycle. And with 2 aces, it's pretty clear that your life is going to change in the near future. It's going to be different for everyone in terms of the time frame, but soon, or in the near future, that you can actually sort of reach. This change is coming towards you, okay? And what else was there? There was something else. There was something else. Divine Counterpart, was there anything else that you wanted to tell them directly? Let's look at these 2 cards. So what I was going to mention that just slipped my mind was the fact that many of you have... Okay, yes, some of you have already met this person, and if what I am describing to you with the tough love is familiar and you can see that this is a special connection, then that's for you guys. But for the rest of you, you haven't yet met this person, okay? If anything in your life, they have been acting as, it kind of feels like an apparition, I tell you. It feels like this beautiful, cozy home, but there's nobody home. At the same time, you were invited into the home to kind of just relax and find some peace. So that is a very interesting image. And with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords, it's just fullness. There's the fullness of heart, the fullness of mind. This person is incredibly, they are challenging, but they're also intellectually and emotionally stimulating for you. So this is really a fullness. So it's quite an invigorating connection that is going to take you to the next level of your spiritual development. So this is wild. Like, this is very powerful, group 1, as you can plainly see. So depending on where each of you guys are in your individual journeys, spiritually speaking, that's sort of indicating how long this might take to come about. So from time to time, I will get these comments that make it sound like the person doesn't want to do the work. They sound quite frustrated in their tone. If you guys feel like that, you know, I don't know if it's like a constant thing, but like if you guys do feel that frustration and like you just don't want to put in the work, what you're actually doing is you're creating a blockage, which will actually push this energy further away. So it's almost as if you're feeding into that. So just be a bit mindful. However, if you're just more present, if you are tapping into the energy of divine love, or gratitude, or just finding some moment of peace within your present moment, you will get there, is what they're saying. So the final part of this, I would like to get these beautiful messages here. Well, not all of them are beautiful, but we'll see. Okay, so Divine Counterpart, these are some written messages. What would you like to say to them directly? Okay. To group 1. Divine Counterpart, what would you like to say to group 1, please? What is your message? What are your messages for group 1? Okay, so we have here... Okay, that was kind of interesting because I saw this at the bottom of the deck, but I didn't say anything, but it came out. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Now, this next card could be you. I don't think that this is them because this does not really reflect. It could be them, yes, but I feel like this is more you. I am not ready for this connection. That's true if what I'm seeing here is true, but only in a sense because the healing still has to take place. The balance, the tower, like, you know, that crash needs to happen. So that's what that is. Okay. Divine Counterpart, what else? What would you like to say to group 1, please, Feather Group? All right, it's a little eerie, or like it's almost bizarre what I'm feeling from your person. Especially in the event that you guys have not met them yet. But it truly feels like this person is watching over you, as if they have some kind of a strange angelic connection or line that they're tapping into. But anyway, okay, whoa. It said, I want to talk to you, and now it says, listen to me. Oh my gosh. How are they trying to connect with you? Like, it could be through anything at all that has to do with sound, whether it's song lyrics or even written stuff that you can almost hear in your head, or it could be little synchronicities and things like that. And then over here it says, you have no idea how I feel. And that's because you haven't been able to receive their messages because of possible blockages, right? So if it's the case, again, that you guys have met them already, this could be talking about perhaps that you're in separation or something, you know, but here's how you can narrow this down, okay? Either you know or you don't. Like, if this person is the one you're meant to be with and you have met them already, you just know it. And I can't put it any more simply. That's just the case. But for the rest of you, if you are feeling doubtful, or again, if you haven't met them, then these messages want to come through. They're saying that they are trying to communicate with you, but at the moment they can't, which makes sense that they kept pushing you to let go of something. That is the reason, one of the reasons for the blockages. Another reason for a blockage is all of this stress and burden that you are carrying. Divine Counterpart, do you have anything else to say? Do you have anything else that you would like to say to group 1, please? Maybe not. Let's see. Anything, any final words? Any final words? Oh my gosh, this is really something. Please come back at the bottom. That's obviously if you guys have met, but it also could be if you feel that perhaps you have lost your path and lost your lantern in the path. That's what they're asking you to do, is to come back to that path, so eventually that the both of you could reunite or unite. Here it says, I crave you. So the word crave makes me feel like this is a bit of, you know, sometimes longing does get unhealthy, and I feel like that could be something that's relevant to your situation. It says, if I could be with you, I would. Man, your person is really on the other side of this. Like, they're the ones that's feeling a lot of pain, ironically, because of, it's not your fault. It's just that because you both are so connected at the core level and at the psychic level, they can feel a lot of this, and you can feel them. This one is beautiful. I love you. Oh my gosh. And then look at this. Oh my gosh, again. Please talk to me. This is crazy. This is so crazy. Oh my gosh. And then the last one is kind of similar to this one over here. I want you. That one is also hinting at if you have ever felt unwanted, either from this person or in general, that you are wanted, you are loved, you are longed for. Okay? So, thank you to the Divine Counterpart of Group 1. What an intense reading, right? What a very intense reading. And it's the first time I've done it in this kind of way. So I hope that that worked out for you guys. I hope it resonated. If it didn't resonate at all, feel free to pick a different group. But I want to thank you guys again for your continuous support. You guys are the best. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Okay, I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 2, which is the Rose Quartz. Spirit, this reading is for group 2 and the messages from their divine counterpart, please. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 2. Divine counterpart of group 2, I invite you into this reading and to give us clarity and messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Spirit, for group 2, what are the messages from their divine counterpart, please? For group 2, please, and thank you. I'm gonna just stop there. The first message, whether this is from Spirit or your divine counterpart, it's a little bit of both. They're actually telling you that you're doing great on your own. If you're currently solo, if you're currently single, some of you might not even be, but the message is the same, that you're doing a wonderful job on your own. You're building your success. You're building your self-confidence. If some of you don't feel like this is aligning with you right now, you will be very soon, and it'll be worth the effort. And it makes sense to me because over here, oh my goodness, look at that. All the imagery here is a person alone. That's so crazy. So I said to you that if you don't feel this way, you will soon. So if you're still currently in the energy of the 5 of Cups, which is a card of a lot of loss or sadness or whatever energy, you're going to come out of this is the simplest way to put that. And then here with the Hermit work, this is a double sort of a message here. The Hermit is solitary, okay? So again, that solo, single, going it on your own kind of energy. So maybe if you are in the shadow aspect of this right now, group 2, you may be feeling quite isolated and just wanting to remove yourself from the world and really not bother with anybody. But that is the, again, shadow aspect, meaning it's the negative side of that. Now let's turn that into the positive side. The light version of that means solitude for the purpose of introspection and spiritual exploration. That's exactly what this is. So if you do happen to be in the 5 of Cups energy, let's swing that in the other direction, turn it into a positive, and instead of feeling lonely, feel the company of yourself, feel the company of the divine, the company of the collective. So these are some strong messages here, and your divine counterpart and Spirit is supporting your exploration and your expansion within self. This is just very interesting because I haven't quite done a reading like this, exactly like this, and I love these messages. Like, and I haven't done it in this sort of fashion before, but that was an amazing string of messages there. So let's keep gazing into these for a moment. Okay, so divine counterpart of group 2, please. What are your additional messages for them at this time? So yes, there was a loss, but they're saying basically that there's going to be a lot of gain, which I did think immediately from the 9 of Pentacles. I mean, this is a card of riches and abundance, right? And they're also saying to you that if you feel or if you notice that there's an up and down within this sort of journey that you're on, if you tend to fluctuate and ebb and flow a lot, that's perfectly normal. So you want to really think of it as waves. And when it comes to the realm of emotions, this is the water element, and we're not actually ever really going to have something too stable in terms of like say, for example, earth energy, because emotions are fluid, right? So if you guys are seeing that there's an up and down constantly, really try to, instead of thinking that it has to stay at a certain level all the time, instead try to navigate the waves and adapt to them and be flexible with their movement. So someone that I knew, this was really wise advice. He said something like that we have to learn almost like to surf. You know, like we have to really learn how to go with that flow and go with that wave. And I do completely agree in terms of emotional self. So I do want to point out that there's a difference between our emotional self and our emotional world versus the other parts of ourselves. So like, for example, things like our higher self, our psychic self, our spiritual body, it doesn't exactly run on that principle. So I'm talking strictly about emotions, the ups and downs of emotions. Just go with the flow of it, okay? And again, with the 5 of Cups message, you always want to remember that there's the 2 cups still standing behind you. That's what I always point out with this card because it is such a powerful message. I learned that through my own study with the tarot. And it's really talking about gratitude. And just in case you needed a confirmation, a reminder, gratitude will immediately put you in a positive energy, even at your lowest point, okay? So because by expressing gratitude, it's almost like putting a +1 into that math equation, and all of a sudden you have more than what you had before. It's really an incredible thing. Divine Counterpart, do you have anything else to say in regards to these? Yeah, so they know that you're going into your inner world. Weirdly, your divine counterpart, even though they miss you, they understand that you are developing a lot right now. You're awakening to a lot of things. You're very wise. I feel like they are on a similar journey. If anything, they're sharing that journey of inner exploration and enlightenment with you. I feel like they are also on their solo journey as well, you know, doing their own thing, building their success from what I can see. And what else? There's a lot of answers. There's a lot of questions that are being answered right now is what they're saying. Something also might come through with prayer and meditation, or for some of you, sleep. That's not for everyone, but prayer and meditation might actually take you very far. If you were to just do what I did earlier before this video, you light a candle and you sit tall and you're just kind of meditating a little bit. If you were to visualize a spirit guide, an angel, or even in this case, your divine counterpart, I feel strongly that you would receive messages. That's in the event that you're not actively blocking the messages, but I do feel that you would. Divine counterpart of group 2, what other messages do you have for them, please? So your divine counterpart is really acknowledging the fact that you have been through cycles and cycles and cycles of pain, and every time that you manage to defeat the old pains, something would grow in its place again. That is frustrating, of course, and repeatedly painful. But we already have seen that you guys have overcome again and again all of these obstacles, all of these pains. You have shown your resilience. You have proven your strength, your integrity, everything. It has not been easy. There's been heartbreak. There's been betrayal for some of you. There's been conflict. There's been criticism. A lot of this then basically manifested in your internal world as well, whether this was early on in life or something more in the recent past. So as we move forward here, we saw with the first card that you will be rewarded. We already saw that in all ways you will be rewarded. This is not obviously just financial, but it can be a part of it. But look at this reward. Oh my goodness, with the Fool and the Ten of Cups here. So you've transformed the Ten of Swords into the Ten of Cups, a complete opposite energy, the energy of light, happiness, and with the Fool, a new beginning. How amazing is that energy? Ooh, boy. So what they are saying is they're basically guiding you in this direction. They're encouraging you. You guys are equals is what I'm feeling here. The Fool is the 0. And this is kind of cute because if I put it this way, it literally on the top says XO. So it's kind of like they're giving you hugs and kisses. That is so cute. That is adorable. I don't think I've seen that. That's so funny. Okay, so there could be something significant with the number 10 for some of you with, I don't know. If you're watching this when I'm posting it, it could have to do with some shift occurring in October. If not that, it could be talking about anything with October that is significant for either of you. Okay. Libra energy is what they're showing me as well. So that could be talking about, oh, here it is. Yeah. Justice. That's a Libra card. Justice, balance, clarity, fairness, especially if those of you were wronged or something like that. There's karmic justice happening here as we speak on both sides of the equation. So your divine counterpart, which is quite different from group 1, what they're giving you, they're giving me their side of the story in terms of their shared struggles. Again, I feel that you guys have this equality about the both of you. You're on the same page, on the same wavelength. You could even be the same age or the same age group relatively. So with a reading like this, some of you have already met your divine counterpart. Maybe you're with them, maybe you're in separation, but for obviously the rest of you haven't met this person yet. But this person is your best friend, is like a best friend. They are someone that will look out for you. They are someone that will be loyal to you no matter what. Oh my goodness. I hate to use this phrase, but ride or die came to my mind. They are with you to the very end, no matter what. Even if you happen to be in separation, that really doesn't matter. Because eventually that reunion or union will happen, okay? So I think I'm going to draw some cards from the other deck that I may have mentioned in the intro. I honestly can't remember what I say in my readings because I get lost in the messages. So yeah, these are Spanish playing cards, and they don't really have a full, it's not a full deck, even by playing cards number, it's not, but we'll see what they, so Divine Counterpart of Group 2, what would you like to tell them? What would you like to say to them? When I say Spanish, I mean literally from Spain, from what the label told me. Some of them actually do have some phrases on them that I'm not going to be able to say perfectly if that does come up, but let's see. And I won't even be able to tell you what it means, but okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we do have this Ace of Wands situation. And we have peeking through, which I have to mention the Three of Swords again, okay? Both of you are going through it, but again, with the Ace of Wands here at the bottom, this is another clue of a new beginning, clarified or confirmed by the Fool card of just new beginnings, okay? So when the both of you are ready to come together into that union again, or that balance, I should say, whether or not you're already with them, this is going to be a whole new way of life. I mean, come on, look at that. There's no better card to me right now than the Ten of Cups. It's just so beautiful, beaming energy. So we also have here this is what's looking like the Knight of Wands in this version from what I can gather. Okay. And then here we have the Five of Cups again. Oh my gosh. That's pretty crazy. And then here we have the Ace of Cups. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. So very beautiful. So yes, like I said, the both of you, it's almost like you're in two different worlds, but you're still going through the same struggles. And the both of you are bravely fighting these battles, slaying your demons, and growing that sense of resilience that only comes from the introspection and the spiritual development when you're by yourself. Okay, so that's really what's going through here. The Five of Cups is the release, and the Knight of Wands is the passionate movement forward. Now, with the Ace of Cups, that the Ace of Cups basically is the beginning of new love. So this looks like this is something reachable, similar to group one. This is something that's reachable. It's within the near future. It's not something that is going to be way, way, way down the line. And I have a lot of faith that this is going to come towards you right when it needs to, right when the time is right. And it's going to be so well worth all of the effort. Do you have anything else with these cards to tell them? Oh, you know what I didn't? Moving forward a little bit more into the future, Divine Counterpart, do you have any messages for group two? The Six of Wands. And at the bottom, there's also the Six of Cups. Okay, both good signs. I just got a little bit of a bloop in my heart, like a butterfly feeling. I feel like you're going to meet them sooner than you would have expected. Obviously, that differs for everyone, but that phrase matters to each of you. It's going to be sooner than you expected. Whatever you're expecting now is what I'm saying is going to be sooner than that. So the Six of Cups is that soulmate card, that beautiful soulmate card where it has the two children, the two childhood friends. And I did mention that this person is like a childhood friend. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory and success. I have a feeling as well that when you're in a higher vibration and you're really feeling successful and really feeling joy and you're buzzing, that could be something significant. Like maybe you might bump into somebody, maybe you might hear something like that right there. When you're in that energy is going to be significant. So I think what I'll do now, I only got 4. Yeah, so let me just draw one more just in case, and then I'll get the written messages. Any final words, final messages, Divine Counterpart of group 2? Oh, surprisingly not. Oh, but we do have, this is really something. We have the Ten of Cups again. See? I told you, you're mirroring each other. This is really, really a special connection, okay? So, two different worlds. You're literally coming from two different card decks right now, but you're mirroring each other in these messages. So that's just very interesting and a very beautiful and blessed connection. Okay, let's get the written messages for you guys. And I'm not surprised because you picked the rose quartz, you know, that's the loveliest crystal possible. And it's so much, the energy of love is radiating from that crystal. And I know it's huge, and I have smaller ones, but that one is just the giant one that I happen to have on my my altar. All right. So Divine Counterpart of group 2, what would you like to directly say to them, being that these are the written messages? What are the direct messages, please, that you have for them? Divine Counterpart of group 2, please. Yeah, so I like the fact that there's a contrast with the other reading that I did. Your Divine Counterpart seems very much in the thick of their journey. They're still learning a lot. They're not exactly like, well, they're not older or wiser than you, is kind of what I'm trying to say. It's not that they're above you. You guys are perfectly centered with each other, which is funny because they don't see it that way. They probably see you as higher than them and vice versa. But trust me, you guys are totally on the same page. So over here, we have two kind of mirroring messages in a sense. It says, I don't know what to do. So you can hear the hesitation, the reluctance, or not even fear. It's not exactly fear. It's a little bit of doubt, if anything. That's probably the word, doubt. So your person says, I don't know what to do. So they're a bit stuck, you know. They may be stuck in the Five of Cups energy or the Swords energy. They might just be a bit struggling. So if that's the case, and if you guys feel like you want to send some love in a prayer in their direction, you know, just to beam love in their direction, that would really help them. And it says, I need to know. So that's kind of like what this is talking about here. I don't know what to do and I need to know. So when it says need, I need to know, they're getting a bit impatient and yes, a little bit afraid. They're getting a bit panicky there. So definitely, you know, if you feel called to, you can send them some love and some calmness, and that might help them. You know, you never know. So it says here, it says, you overwhelm me. So that's what I was trying to say before, that they hold you in such high regard. They have at times some issues with like thinking that they're not good enough. Again, if this is sounding like you, something that you typically do, you're mirroring each other here, but you're on the same page, like I said. And then finally it says, I'm traveling towards you. That one is unintentional. They probably don't think that they are consciously, again, whether or not you know them already, but they are moving in the direction towards you in some shape or form. They could be guided towards this. Divine Counterpart of Group 2, what else would you like to say to them at this time? Please and thank you. Anything else that you'd like to say directly? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know if to take these, there's a little bit too many here, but on the bottom of the deck it says, you scare me. So they're really kind of creeping back into their shell, and they do really emulate this energy of the Five of Cups and the Hermit. I mentioned that in the beginning, that the feeling of being in isolation. Yeah. Whereas that could either be you or that, like, remember before I said that you guys are doing great on your own? It really just kind of depends, because again, it's a general reading, but like one of you is doing this right now. One of you is really just like climbing into your shell. So their messages, please help me. Oh boy, right? And this one, it says, I am focusing on other things right now. The thing to focus on is that inner work, and it honestly isn't as bad as some people think it is. If anything, it can be very comforting, and if it's just a matter of surrendering fear, it's not as bad as it seems. I think that it just gets a bad reputation because if you're looking into some kind of a dark room or dark hallway, we're going to be terrified simply because we don't know what's there. But flick on the light, you know, carry your lantern, ask your spirit guides to be with you and to guide you through that fear, to give you courage. And you will see that it's really not as scary as it was, as it seemed. Any final words, Divine Counterpart of Group 2? Okay, so this one is going to resonate differently. It says, you hurt me and I still can't forgive you. This is only going to resonate if you have already met the person and there was something that you did that was that was something that was negative towards them. They're still feeling this this hurt. Not even resentment, they're still feeling that hurt. But if that's not the case, your divine counterpart is instead saying that they're still hurt by past things that happened to them, which is very similar to what happened in your past as well, most likely. So again, the mirroring is happening there. The bottom line is that they're still struggling through the pain, and that's the stage that they happen to be in right now. And finally, this is, whoops, I would say that this last card was a little bit depressing because of what it says, but the bottom of the deck energy that I drew, I kind of made a mess of my cards by accident. I flipped it over, but the bottom energy, I will say this is quite positive. So they are feeling right now that they have given up. I know that they haven't, but they are probably just in that energy of like Eight of Swords, where they think everything is horrible, but it actually isn't. It's just the frame of mind right now. But the last card is I need your healing. Now, with this card, what this is really meaning, when it says I need your healing, the both of you are connected. So the best thing that you can do now is to work on your own inner peace. So whether or not you are with this person or know this person, I really don't want to recommend that you put 100% of yourself into healing another person, because they have to also learn to come up and to stand in their own light. That's really the only solution to that. And very often, by us just healing ourselves and being in our light, we are actually sort of transmitting that to other people. So by you working on your own peace and healing and sending that love to just outward into the world or to this person, they are receiving that, and it's still helping them. So how, hopefully they are working on their own healing, and they're working with their guides and angels to get them to that point. Again, I feel that you guys are just such mirrors of one another that, eventually the both of you will come to that point of happiness and a new beginning. And I trust that this will happen. I really do. I don't have any doubts about this. You guys are so wonderful together in your energies. Maybe again, for some of you, this might take a little bit more time to come into fuller balance. But again, I do feel like it'll be sooner than you expect. All right, so thank you, Divine Counterpart of Group 2. So Group 2, that is what I have for you. If this didn't resonate at all, feel free to pick a different group. But I wish you the very best of luck on your journey of healing, and to your Divine Counterpart as well. Again, this was a general reading. The link for the personal reading is in the description, and I'm going to update the availability soon. And the updates will be on the actual website on the top. So thank you guys so much again. Please take care of yourselves. I'm sending you blessings, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 3, which is the incense. Spirit, this reading is for group 3, and the messages from their Divine Counterpart. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 3, and the Divine Counterpart of group 3. I invite you into this reading to provide us with clarity and messages. Thank you. Okay, let's take a look, group 3. Spirit, for group 3, please, what are the messages from their Divine Counterpart? Please and thank you. Whoa. For group 3, please. Messages from their Divine Counterpart. Oh my gosh. Okay. A lot of stuff. Hang on, the card fell. Okay. So group 3, let's see what we have here. Okay. All right, well, we have the bottom of the deck. It has the Tower card. It's bottom deck energy, though. So let's put all this together. So we have here the King of Swords, the Two of Swords. There's a lack of clarity right now for one of you, both of you maybe. Especially when it's regarding your path moving forward. For some of you, it might be something else where you just feel rejected or abandoned or left out in the cold by something or someone. So there is this lack of clarity or truth even. And with the Two of Swords, it also could be a lot of doubt within something having to do with truth and clarity. So basically this is talking about the energy that you're in, the energy that your person can also be in. So we have here some really positive cards that it's turning into. All right, we have here the page of, the King of Pentacles. We have the Strength card, the Nine of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Okay, so Divine Counterpart of group 3, please. From the cards that we have out here, what are your messages for them, please? So the very first thing that they said was pretty straightforward because of the Three of Wands. They said, it's going to get better. And yes, that is true. I can see myself because the Nine of Cups is here. This is a card of happiness. A card of happiness and wish fulfillment, satisfaction, just feeling really good about things and yourself. And then here with the King of Pentacles, this is talking about moving into stability. Stability, something tangible, something that you can actually touch and you can rely on. It's like a sturdy table, you know, something that you can really lean upon and work on and make, be productive, you know, things like this. What else? This is going to pass. That's what they said. This is, it went like this, like you can actually see my hand followed the energy stream. The energy is cycling out of whatever was making you feel like the Five of Pentacles energy. So try not to worry about that in terms of the future. Try not to have like thoughts and worries about the future and saying things like, am I always going to feel this way? Is this cycle always going to be here? Or not being able to even see outside of that current pain or rejection feeling. So they're telling me that this is going to cycle out and actually very soon. So this is a very strong stacked energy. You can see it kind of forming that perfect rectangle shape, which is really cool. So Divine Counterpart of group 3, what else would you like to say based off of these cards, please? Okay, so they're there for you. I feel like they could be already identifying with this Pentacles energy, the King of Pentacles energy, regardless of gender. This person is very, very reliable, very generous, very caring, nurturing. They want to give. They want to take care of you. So in a reading like this, it's a little difficult for me because some of you have met your person, some of you have not. So it really goes both ways. It really doesn't matter. But yes, this person wants to give to you and really wants to support you. This also could be a financial kind of a support thing as well. They're trying to tell you that you don't have to kill yourself with like always worrying about money all the time because they have your back is kind of what they're saying. Now, with the both of you and with you in your path, there is going to be expansion, especially when it comes to future opportunities. With the Strength card, again, more stability and foundation. It's like being able to walk a stable path. Okay. What else? There's a lot of satisfaction here with the Nine of Cups. It's talking about being in a very good place in terms of where, like, basically in terms of your path and where you're going. You might not feel like that right now, but you're going to feel a shift very soon where their message is going to really resonate with you within a short amount of time, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks, months kind of a thing. Divine Counterpart, what else would you like to say? We have the Seven of Wands at the center. Oh, they're going to fight for you. They're really, really on your side here. So if it was a concern for some of you, whether or not you were going to have a person to support you and to have your back, that is without a doubt going to be a thing of the past, okay? They are here for you morning, noon, and night. Like at the drop of a dime, they will rush to your side and always be there for you. And this is going to be especially meaningful for those of you that had to deal with others that turned their back on you. So that's amazing. that's so lovely, very beautiful. This person for sure is very protective of you. I feel like for those of you that this resonates, this person is going to be a good parent as well in the future, like really be there for the family dynamic, or like if not per se children in terms of family, just like the whole family dynamic where of you guys as family, or anyone in your close circle is what it's saying. So they are just that person, you know, and they're very practical too. They're very like resourceful, and they're able to actually address the physical needs, you know, making sure that everyone is taken care of in a physical sense. And that's a wonderful thing, you know, like that's definitely resonating with the parent aspect as well, to make sure that things like the physical sustenance are in place, you know, that's really a wonderful way to care for a person, in addition to the other emotional ways that I see as well. Divine Counterpart of group 3, what else? What else would you like to say to them? Sorry, my voice is strained lately. Okay. So we have here the 7 of Cups, and we also have the Page of Swords, okay? So the Page of Swords, when I see that, not always, but sometimes I do see communication here. And then here with the 7 of Cups, this is really talking about opportunity. So as we move forward into the future, because that's kind of where the cards are headed, things are going to open up. Lines of communication are going to open up. So whether or not you know this person, it still stands. So it could be psychic communication. It could be actual communication. I just need one more. Divine Counterpart of group 3. What do you have to say, please? What would you like to tell them? The King of Cups. Okay. Another king. That's funny. That's actually the third one. All right. So what's going to come through here in terms of the opportunity or the communication? Specifically of emotions. This could be on your side. If you were the person to shut in, you're the one that could be opening up. But it really could go both ways. There's a lot to be said here. There's a lot of emotion and psychic energy that wants to come through. Okay? This is also like a touchy-feely romantic kind of a card as well, to really pour out the heart and soul. This doesn't even mean something that was like you guys were in separation, but it could just mean after a bit of like a lull. This could be almost like a refresher of each other's hearts. And if you guys aren't meant to meet them yet, this is psychic. This could be through dreams or through any other synchronicities, but you're going to be able to feel a loving gesture. So for example, this is so funny. I said something before about like taking care of the person's physical needs, like something really simple. Like it could be a little sign, a little synchronicity. All right, just as an example, I can't really think of a great one, but let's say that, you know, you're really strapped for cash and you really needed something right in that moment, and you just felt kind of hopeless or left out in the cold, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do? And then it's like that moment where you find like a hidden $20 bill in your old jacket pocket, like kind of something like that, where it kind of just feels like this person is almost guiding you, and their spirit guide is coming to help you out in the situation, to give you that love. It's going to be a loving and giving gesture. So again, this communication or these opportunities opening up is going to resonate differently for each of you, depending on whether or not you know them or how far along you are in the journey. So let's just get a couple more. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll get one more from here, and then I'll get the other playing cards. Okay, anything else? Divine Counterpart of group 3. I feel what they're saying is that you feel trapped. So this is a very interesting reading because all of the three groups so far had different tones and, you know, obviously I'm channeling from different energies here, but this is super interesting. So your person, although you guys feel pretty like on the same page and you know, equal, your person is like really protective and looking out for you, and they're commenting, they're trying to get you to see the pain that you are in based off of some of your negative patterns of thought and repeating patterns of pain, like cycles that don't necessarily have to be there anymore because you've learned the lessons from them. So I feel like so definitely they are a tough love type at times, not all of the time, but when they see that they need to intervene, they absolutely will. And then here we have the Queen of Pentacles. So it's really beautiful because it is matching in energies. You guys are now paired here at the top as a divine counterpart. And then here at the bottom, we have the wonderful 10 of Cups. There's a future with this person. In this card, you can see that there is a family. Okay, again, that just depends on what resonates with you. But there is this wonderful, healthy balance between the both of you. You're still your own, like your own separate people in a sense that you're whole and complete as yourselves, but at the same time, you make a really good team. So that's something that's coming through. And for everything that they give you, you're going to give them right back, or you want to give them right back. Like, obviously, when you're replenished enough. Okay. Divine Counterpart of Group 3. Would you like to tell them anything else? Nothing yet. Divine Counterpart of Group 3, what would you like to tell them, please? I think all of the groups so far did get something having to do with movement here. So we have so this is their version of the Knight of Swords. That's very fast movement. It also could be hinting at some kind of communication within the near future. And here we have the 10 of Clubs or Wands. So over here we had the 10 of Swords, which is very similar in energy. And it is talking about the ending of that cycle. But we need one more. Hold on. So what is the message, please, Divine Counterpart? That's funny. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Cups again. So they have this cute little message here, the Four of Wands. That is a wonderful confirmation that you guys are meant to be together. You're meant to have a home together. You're meant to have stability together, as well as healing and harmony. So they didn't really give me a message per se about this, but this is such a lovely thing to say. It's, again, basically kind of confirming the 10 of Cups at the bottom. Let's get a couple more. But do you have anything else to say? After this, we'll get the written messages. There it is. Okay, so I'm not even going to attempt to read what this says. Some of you are going to understand this. I do not. This one here is at the bottom. It didn't pop out, so I'm not sure if I should even show this, but this is the Two of Wands. Hold on. Okay, so we have another Knight card here. The Knight of Wands this time. So the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, both coming through. These are talking about movement. So it's talking about both your movement forward and sort of like encouraging you. Yeah, they're not rushing you, but they're encouraging you to move forward in a way that you have been craving and in a way that is in your highest good right now. And then this one over here, the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is talking about, I think this is actually talking about some kind of boredom or apathy in this case, which is not usually what I see from the Four of Cups. And this one here at the bottom, I'm just going to show you the one at the bottom. There it is. So again, this is the Two of Wands. So it's talking about the future, the openness of the future. But that can only happen if this energy is cycled out, okay? So we did mention in the very beginning that there was some kind of blockage or doubt or like, you know, something that was getting in the way of truth or direction or clarity. So, you know, emotionally speaking, you're doing your best to shed those old skins and to shed the negativity. So just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I feel like you're already doing the right things. I just feel like it's a matter of having a little bit of compassion towards yourself at times if you're giving yourself that hard time. We have the Three of Swords here, you know, so there is still this pain element, but remember, you are going to overcome that. You are going to elevate and reach this happiness and reach this satisfaction. So if you have faith for that, if you actually have faith for that and you're believing that, you're accepting that reality. But if you don't believe that, then you're actually rejecting it and pushing it away, allowing it to not happen at all. So you're creating that prophecy there. So the Divine Counterpart of Group 3, what are your direct written messages for them, please? Would you like to say anything directly to them? Okay, I mean, I don't always do the first bottom deck energy, but I just had to say that here. You are my soulmate. That's so cute. Okay, so Divine Counterpart of Group 3, please. What would you like to say to them at this time? Whoa, they have a lot to say. Okay, so let's just take those so far. Oh my gosh, come on now. You had the two knights here, and I mentioned communication. That is so funny. I'm moving towards you. All right. So, this is either something, yes, that they're still struggling with, but I really see that it's matching your energies that we saw. And remember, they're giving you that, that nudge and that tough love. But the thing is about your person, they may act kind of tough and they may act like they're all kind of good and dandy, but they have a lot of wounds too. And that's what I'm just seeing only now. They took the whole reading for me to be able to see that that's their truth inside. And here it says, I have too many wounds. I'm done with this. So they're still battling their demons. You're still battling your demons. Like I said in the beginning, you are very much on the same wavelength, on the same page. You're more equal in sort of like stance. But the fact that it says I'm done with this is a good thing, because they're saying that they're done with the wounds and they're ready to move on and they're ready to move towards you. Okay, what else? Divine Counterpart of Group 3. Anything else that you'd like to tell them? Yeah, they really struggle at times. It says on the bottom, this is too hard. So they are really striking me as this energy, which is really interesting because the King of Pentacles, that earth energy, you know, before, remember with the water energy, it was so fluid, and the emotions and the inner psychic energy is really obvious. But with something like earth energy, it's quite tough. It's very it's very stable and solid, and it's really hard to sometimes get to the root that's underneath and like get through that armor. He's actually wearing armor in this image here, you see? So anyway, there's a big mushy center here to your person and also probably to you. So what this is all kind of translating into, if that's the case for either you, your person, or both, it's okay to show your inner emotions. It's okay to let those out. It's the healthiest thing that you can do if you allow yourself to go with the flow of your emotions, of your inner waters. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Because I will tell you with 100% certainty that every single human being struggles with emotions at some time in their life. So we in the collective are in this together. There is no shame in that at all. Okay? And in fact, ironically, that's what brings us together. That's what makes us all human together, our compassion, our suffering. So over here, we already saw that. We have this card, I'm drowning. So I do feel that that's relevant for what the both of you are going through in your journeys. Please send healing to one another if you are feeling called to do so. You know, definitely pray to your angels and guides yourself if you feel like you are drowning. And really see yourself releasing the chains and the anchors that are holding you down. So release those and visualize yourself floating up to the surface and absorbing the sunlight that is above you, which is representing divine love. And then we also have here, I'm angry. There's just so many emotions. So many emotions. So I highly recommend, just for you guys who are watching on your end of things, just focus on yourself, focus on your healing, focus on your freedom. Because you can do, I know that you can do this. You might think that you're weak or something, but you already know that that's a lie. You are not weak. If anything, you're stronger than someone who doesn't have to deal with this constantly, because this has been an up and down thing. All right, so let's see. So Divine Counterpart, is there anything you'd like to say to them directly about your feelings towards them? If you are ready. If you are ready. Okay, so I'll just take those. On the bottom it says, I know you love me. Well, it's pretty clear that you guys love each other and have each other's backs, like I said. Okay. And then over here it says, yeah, they truly are a master of hiding their feelings, to the point where in a psychic tarot card reading, I couldn't even feel it until the end. So I feel like this person feels like a rock, and that has a lot of advantages to it from the attributes I already gave to you in reliability and stuff like that. But the only downside is when they try to harden their feelings and their inner world. So this person is really skilled at that. But they said, I want to fix this. So they also have a very can-do, problem-solving attitude, which is great. They're very, you know, like into the sort of collaboration of things, and that's really good. I don't think they're stubborn. I think they're actually a very reasonable person. I just think that when it comes to something having to do with facing their own inner wounds or, you know, perceived weaknesses, that's when they feel a bit triggered to hide. And it says here, look, it says here, you have no idea how I feel, but you do know. Obviously, because you're on the same wavelength, and you know you've gone through everything that they've gone through, that you've gone through, like not identical hardships, but you've gone through similar energies within your hardships. So it says, you scare me. Now the reason for this is because you guys on your end, you may actually be a little bit better at facing the scary emotions, and that's what they're referring to with you scare me. And then finally it says, please talk to me. So really, you know, obviously that does depend on whether or not you know this person. You could know them and be in separation, or you could not know them at all. But the card, please talk to me, that is what we saw here with this communication. So it's not exactly a direct request for like to break the silence. It's just a little bit more of to open up the blockages that you feel energetically because of, you know, stuff like this. It just means be more open, you know, please be more open. Please open yourself up psychically. Please open up your heart. That's what I feel is going on here. So whether it's to them or to yourself, you have to be open here to receive something and to also give something back, okay? So group 3, this was a bit of a heavy reading, and I apologize if I keep saying that to you. I feel like the last group, the last pick a card that I did had similar tones. If you happen to pick the heavy one, I'm sorry, but you know, it's a heavy time. But you know, just have faith, and you will get to that place of happiness, okay? Not to say that you have to wallow in this unhappiness now, but you know, just find some peace in your present moment and just keep going. And what you're doing, the efforts you're putting out there, they're working. Please do not think that you are putting things into like an empty receptacle. It is working. It is working, and you're building your strength slowly over time, but slowly but surely, okay? So group 3, that is what I have for you. If this didn't resonate at all, feel free to pick a different group, but I really hope this helped. Again, it's a general reading. It might not resonate for every single one of you, but the personal readings link is in the description. I will update availability and open up slots soon for that, okay? So thank you guys once more, and I truly wish you the best. And I'm sending you healing, love, and light, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Athame. Timestamps in description.
Sorry about that. I don't know what I hit on my computer. That's so funny. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 4, which is the athame. So just in case you're wondering what it is not exactly a dagger or any kind of weapon. This is a tool used in this is a tool used in things like spells and witchcraft, and honestly I don't know a lot about the craft myself, even though I feel it naturally in my system, which is why I was called to it. But yes, it has the protective symbol on it. It is something used to kind of like open circles or like to cast spells. Like there's different things that they can do with it. I really apologize to all the witches out there for my terrible explanation, but I'm super drawn to the craft and it's just so beautiful. So that's the athame. Please never use it for any kind of purposes of, anything outside of what I just mentioned. It's not meant to be for those purposes at all. Spirit, this reading is for group number 4. And the energies for them with their divine counterpart, the messages from their divine counterpart. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 4. The divine counterpart of group 4, I invite you into this reading and to provide us with messages and clarity and guidance for group 4. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Spirit, for group 1, please. What are the messages from their divine counterpart? Okay, so with the Knight of Cups immediately, this is talking about movement. I feel that your person is moving towards you. This is for those of you that either don't know your person or you know them and you're in separation. If you happen to already be with your person, this could be something that is talking about moving towards a direction of more love and more harmony. It's kind of tough with the general reading, but I try to cover all the different possibilities. Spirit, what else? Messages for group 4 from their divine counterpart, please. Realistically, what I heard with the Knight of Cups was, I'm coming towards you, I'm moving towards you, and I'm bringing love towards you. All right? Sadness at the bottom. Sadness, grief, guilt, remorse, any of these emotions that might resonate with your particular situation. But there's a darkness energy that is still being resolved at the current time. Oh my, speaking of darkness, we have the devil right here. We also have conflict and burdens within the environment. We have clashing and fighting and headbutting and things like that. There's just a lot of struggle right now for either you or your person. They're working on freeing themselves, whereas on your end, you may actually be working on building yourself, and especially in the area of your prosperity and your success. You're climbing your mountains, all right? And these messages are going both ways. Your divine counterpart is acknowledging all of your success. They are really admiring you. And with the 6 of Swords here, what they're saying is another double message. They actually feel like you've moved on from them. Again, this is a little bit more towards you guys where you know them and you're in separation versus if you haven't met them ever. So it looks like they feel you've moved on. And another double message is that they are moving on from something that was difficult for them. Okay. Now, group 4, you already know what I'm about to say. But if you happen to choose group 4, like a lot of the times we are dealing with a separation issue. But if it is the case that you guys have never met your person, all right, try to just grab those messages that resonate for that, because I know a lot of this is like talking about separation. But here's the gist of it. Your person is moving towards a better time of their lives. They're moving towards more peace. They're moving towards more success. They're moving towards maturity, which is really, really great to hear because I know it's been a struggle. They've been quite scattered, okay? Your person, whether you know them or not, they have been quite scattered. They have been, okay, it's heavy. Hold on a second. Yep, it's been hard. It has been a mountain that they've had to climb and conquer in regards to their darkness, and it's felt like an impossible burden that they've had to clear. So group 4, what I'm feeling from your person right at this moment is a ridiculous amount of sadness, and It could be a dark night of the soul situation. They have finally turned towards their spirituality. They have turned towards their spirituality and have opened up their heart to divine, to any kind of form of love or self-love and healing. And it's an incredible transformation that's happening either now or it will be in the near future. They're still in it. They're still in the dark. It's like a limbo or like this dark chamber that I'm seeing here. Truthfully, what I saw was them curled up in fetal position. So that could be representing the fact that they are going to be reborn soon because of the, the imagery of that at a snail's pace. It's slow though. So they're still moving quite slowly, but surely, but weirdly, time isn't even relevant here. It's going to feel like no time has passed at all. So as you can see, I'm still holding my heart here because your person is really going through it. And I had no choice but to like comfort myself here, because I can feel the pain that's coursing through their heart. It's black, it's black ooze is what I'm seeing. It's almost like their heart is crying. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I don't feel it because I'm protected, but geez, that's a horrible image. They're really going through this heaviness. So the messages from your divine counterpart, it's like they're not even directly speaking to you. They're actually just opening up. They're allowing me to channel these messages, yes, but they're not even at a place where they can actually speak to you. They're just curled up, balled up in the darkness, letting all of the ooze out, letting all of the demons course through them. Now, I know what's on the other side because I've been through this. I know what's on the other side, but your person at the current time doesn't know this. They might not understand that at the other side of this dark night of the soul is light. Okay. So that's what's going on with them. And that is quite a message. Like, holy cow, right? This is just insane. Okay. I don't know if they're going to want to talk, but let's try to see what happens here. I don't want to bother them. So Spirit, what else can you tell us? Messages from their divine... I don't want to like address them directly. Spirit, what else can you tell us for the messages for group 4 from their divine counterpart, please? So we have the Page of Cups here, and that is similar to the baby imagery that I saw, because the Page of Cups is a brand new energy. This is a child energy compared to the King and the Queen, who are adults. And look at that. Holy crap. The Death card. That's the Rebirth card. This is crazy. Oh, wow. I can't believe the way that these cards are just flowing right now. Ace of Cups at the bottom, a renewal of this painful energy of the heart. That with the Three of Swords. Victory beneath that. Oh my gosh. This is really, really intense, group 4. No surprise there. Okay. They can breathe again. This is going to happen. I don't know exactly the time frame because that is going to really it's going to be largely different for every single person watching. But when this happens, they can finally breathe again. They're looking up from the darkness. They can see, as you can see from the Death card, there's a sun in the distance. So this person is going to be renewed, refreshed, and lightened. They're going to be able to look up from that darkness and see the light. Their tears are dried from their face after crying it all out. Their heart is open to receive love. I'm telling you, this is like an epic saga love story. Okay, so again, little asterisk here. If this is not resonating that, for some of you, like if you have never met this person, I don't know if this is resonating or sounding familiar at all, but this is what I'm feeling regardless from the person I'm channeling. So I don't know if it's going to resonate for the rest of you if you haven't met them yet. Okay. You know what I'm getting, the biggest feeling I'm getting from your person now that they're looking up at the light? Humility. In fact, the image that I'm seeing right now is the fact that they are on their knees. They're crouched over. So like before they were in fetal position, but now they have risen a little bit, but they're still kneeling on they're on their knees, to kind of symbolize when someone's praying in that humble state. Now my question is, what are they going to do next? So with the Knight of Cups, that did signify some kind of movement. But the image that I'm seeing right here and right now is they're just looking up at the light, and they're not frozen, but it's that moment where it cuts to black in a movie and you don't know what they're going to do yet. This is like really, this is almost like a movie in my head. So thank you for the it's almost entertaining. I'm like, wow, like this is really good inspiration. If you guys are like writers or anything, I hope that you guys can get into some channeling someday. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna have to ask them because they're looking up. So let's ask them directly. So I was here, sitting here channeling for a few minutes. This is representing much longer than that. It's like in a dream, you know how they say that? So this is representing a much longer span of time. Not much longer, but it's representing a series of events, a sequence of time here, where they're going to go through these stages. Okay, so Divine Counterpart of Group 4. Oh gosh. Divine Counterpart of Group 4, what would you like to say to them at this time, if anything at all? Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. You guys are making me so emotional. I cannot do that. For those of you that apologize to me, please do not apologize. This is part of the channeling. And believe me when I tell you, I can handle a lot of emotions, so don't worry. But you guys are just like always making me want to cry. So here's what your person said. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. They're saying, I'm sorry that I hurt you. They're saying it kills them that they hurt you. That everything that I showed you with the black oozing bleeding heart, part of that was the catalyst of it was the fact that they hurt you. Look at this. Look. Oh my gosh. The 7, the 10, the 3. Look in the 10 of Swords there. Just like someone lying on the ground with all these swords at their back. And the 7 of Swords. This is a person who has lied and turned their back on you. And the 3 of Swords. Someone who has betrayed you. This person feels an immense remorse for what they've done. Okay? And again, that's in the event that you know this person and you're in separation. If you don't know this person, they've done something. They've done something that was painful and that has hurt someone. Or maybe, you know what it is? It's shame. It's like shame for living a false life. It's shame for always repeating those painful cycles, especially the 10 of Swords and the Devil card, which some of them have been struggling with things like addiction or like, you know, maybe not necessarily addiction, but something having to do with like a really horrible pattern of darkness. And what they're feeling now is remorse. And remember what I said in the beginning, I mentioned the 5 of Cups, and I did say immediately that they felt guilt, okay, or shame. And these are the most difficult emotions in the bag. Like, and if I think that actually shame and fear are probably like in the top 5 of the most horrible emotions that we could feel. Anyway, so here we have the 4 of Pentacles and the Judgment card. Check it out, okay? The Judgment card means enlightenment, and I have been sensing for a very, very, very long time that your person that I'm always channeling, you know, in the group 4s for the most part. Sometimes it wasn't group 4, but I've been waiting for this too. You know, I've been waiting because like they've struggled. You guys definitely mirror each other in a lot of ways, but you, as a bit more awakened one, it was nothing like, you know, it didn't take you this long. It didn't hit you in the same way. Like you're the more mature one from what I can gather. So I've been waiting for their enlightenment to come through, and here it is. They're still blocking it a little bit at the current time, but the fact that we saw such a shift and transformation gives me hope. It gives me hope, and I'm literally seeing them with like, okay, this is like such a random thing, but they have a shaved head or something, like a closely shaved head or something like that, like a buzz, not anyway. which is representing a new self. You know, when people cut their hair to get rid of the old energy, or they're trying to like renew a sense of self, you know, something like that. Bottom of the deck, we have the strength card. And I heard once that, what was it? That our hair is a representation of strength or something. I think they were talking about that, the Samson tale, but don't pay any attention to me. So anyway, yeah, so it's like even that is refreshed, even that is new, that they're trying, and it's the imagery of the head space, so the intellect, the ideas, the refreshing of beliefs. This, I'm telling you, is like a whole it's a whole 3-dimensional, 5-dimensional cleansing of this person. This is just outrageously intense right now. A year ago, I wouldn't have been able to deliver these messages for you like this, so everything happens for a reason. But I'm definitely more protected now than I was when I started the channel. I was very wobbly back then. Okay, so Divine Counterpart, what else would you like to say to them, to Group 4? Divine Counterpart of Group 4. Okay. So this is the Ten of Wands. So what they said was, I'm dropping the burdens. You have the Five of Cups again. Five of Cups again. So the sadness, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment, the whatever, the remorse is very heavy. So ironically, if they did do something to hurt you, you're one of the reasons why they're dropping these wands and these horrible patterns is because of that. It finally triggered them to like that final push, that final catalyst that they needed to reach this eventual enlightenment, which is still yet to come, but it's coming. It's there. So what else? Divine Counterpart. Oops. Okay, let's do one more. Okay. The Four of Wands. Are you kidding me? Like, you could bet money on the fact that that card always comes out in our readings, Group 4. The Four of Wands is a twin flame card. So I don't know if you're tired of me hearing me say that, but geez, the Four of Wands. So anyway, lots of reunion in that card, lots of reunion energy in that card. And then here we have 2 different nights, and both of these are 11. I don't know if 11 is significant in your connection, possibly 1122, which are the twin flame numbers, if you happen to see those a lot, which I didn't know at first, and I learned that through personal experience. So yes, 11 here. We have the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, which are the 2 faster moving knights, and you also had the Knight of Cups in the beginning, okay? So movement, more movement, and I would say specifically in your direction. They're coming for you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did it come out like that? They said they're coming. That's an inside joke. That's not a threat. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That is an inside joke that I have with someone that says they're coming for you. The 10 of Pentacles here. So the 10 of Coins, the 10 of Pentacles is a card of foundation, family, positive energy, love. It could be hinting at having a stable foundation with someone in the future. Okay? So one thing that did cross my mind, I pay attention to the comments. I know there's a lot. I certainly can't read through every single one or comment on every single one, but I do always notice when people say in Group 4 that they don't want to be with this person. That's completely fine. The topic of today's reading is the messages from specifically your divine counterpart. So even if this is sounding familiar to someone that you've dealt with, the whole point is this is your divine counterpart. So this is the person that you fit with the best and who is in your highest good. So it might not necessarily be the person that you thought it was. So just, you know, be open to these messages, if anything. So this here is something in the future. Okay, that's a lot of beauty there. So let's just get one more card from here. Spirit, do you have any advice for us or anything that we need to know? After this, I'll get the written messages. So travel could be something that's relevant. Here we have the 10 of Pentacles again at the bottom. That's the same card here. So again, we're seeing prosperity. We're seeing promise. I love this. Oh my gosh, it says promise. It says things are going to be better from now on. It's change. It's lasting change. So again, a little bit of a caution there. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Now, for those of you that have endured a lot of pain because of another person, put your foot down. Absolutely take your power back from anyone who has ever taken it before, and do not settle for less than what you deserve. You deserve respect and you deserve honesty. And if anyone out there isn't granting you that, then you have to be careful, okay? Because people can say things, but they don't always mean them. So look for evidence of change and look for evidence of the truth of that behavior, you know, that behavior, and that their words have to match. Okay, so this card here said things are going to be better, things are going to be different. Now, I can see that based off of the average collective energy, but you have to be also cautious because it differs from person to person. So again, I mentioned travel could be significant here. The Three of Wands has to do with travel, distance, literally overseas travel, but there is some kind of distance here. Now, we also have the Ace of Cups, an offering of new love. Or the beginning of new love, yes. The beginning of new love and new ways of being, new ways of feeling, new ways of seeing the world. Your person in their awakened state. And I am actually quite stunned because I've been doing this channel for a while and I've been kind of following the saga with you guys. And I'm actually quite surprised. I wasn't sure where it was going to head. Now, of course, depending on your own individual path, it could take longer for some of you, but on average, the collective energy is that this is going to happen soon, that there will finally be some balance, redemption, vindication, some justice for once, because it's been a tough journey. It's been, look at that when I cut the deck. I'm still healing. And then it says, I've been waiting for you. That's pretty interesting. All right. So like I said, they were just kneeling there in my vision. They were kneeling there, looking up, and that moment is representing the fact that they're still deciding. Okay? I love these images. I mean, thank you for sharing these with me, because it really is like a movie in my head. It's very fascinating. Okay, so Divine Counterpart of Group 4. What messages would you like to tell them directly, please? Oh my goodness, Group 4. At the bottom, I'm hurting right now. That's very obvious. They're still hurting. Some of the other messages that they have for you, again, this is not a surprise at all. You are my soulmate. You know it, they know it, they've known it for quite some time. But in the middle of things, they were in denial for a long time. I've been waiting for you. That could go both ways. That could be for one or both of you. The notion of waiting is a really big theme here. Just like so long that the both of you have been waiting for something to come through to clear some kind of resolution. So here it says, I don't know which direction this is coming from, but it says, You hurt me and I still can't forgive you. I want to forget you. I don't know where this is coming from. This actually could be coming from you. Um, it could be coming from you in your, like, in your wounded state. Um, like if you felt this recently. I do hope for your sake that you don't feel like this anymore, only because um, that does terrible things to us, because our heart is meant to be full of light and love, and if it's filled with anything else like this, that it really makes us shrivel up like a plant without water or sunlight. It's really bad. But anyway, so in the event that you hurt this person, that's what's going to resonate here, but I don't think that you did. So the message is that someone here was still hurting and wanting to just kind of bury things. But the overall message of the reading is that that was past energy. So that's really what I see, past energy. And we did all see that this is progressing to better things. So this is kind of like high school kind of talk. I really like you. You and I both know what that really means, which is which is I love you, but we'll see. Group 4, sorry, divine counterpart of group 4. What else would you like to say to them? I'm confused. Yeah, definitely. Still in limbo. Oh my. I think about you every second. Jeez. I would believe that. I don't think that that's an exaggeration even. They only get distracted like momentarily by things like work, you know. But even there, even anywhere, they get reminded of you and it goes right back to you because you're connected all the time. Okay, now on the bottom of the deck, it says it's time. You know, I mean, it will be time. So it's time means that the time of the shift and the rolling waves of change are happening here and now. Okay. Any final messages, divine counterpart of group 4? Anything else that you would like to say? On the bottom, it still says, I am not ready for this connection. So you can see the conflict, you know? It's kind of like this balance, seesaw, back and forth thing. But again, that's just representing their difficult, painful emotions. But we see the progression, you know? They're looking at it from the limbo darkness lens, but we're the ones that see sort of like in the clear lens of light what's going on here. Oh my gosh. Woo! I am ashamed. Wow. I'm floored. I'm floored with this one because we talked about that extensively. I am ashamed. Oh my gosh. Back to the heart. Okay. It says, I'm here for you. They will be. They haven't quite been. I feel like in their heart, they are here for you, and because they're obviously thinking about you all the time. And the final card is, I can't get you out of my head. You guys, this is turning into, you know, like, I feel like at this point, they're not just thinking about you, they're obsessing over you. They're obsessing over you. And it's not like, honestly, yes, that can be a bad thing, but in this case, it's because of the crazy psychic connection. So that tells me that, like, if the connection is getting stronger and more palpable or, you know, more tangible, then that means that communication is near or even union is near. Okay, right? So I want to just make sure. So let's just ask one more time. Divine counterpart of group 4. Do you have any other message for them at this time? They're showing me a ring. They're showing me a circle, a golden circle. Now, for some of you, that could be literally a golden ring. But they are showing me a ring. And what I got from that was coming full circle back to the point where it began. That's exactly what they said. It was going like this. So that could mean a lot of things. So I feel like that won't make sense until much later. So if you ever watch this video again in the future, but back to the point where it began means that it's right back to where you started. Boom. Like, and that could be in a literal sense in terms of, let's say, for example, location. Maybe you met them somewhere. Maybe you're going to meet them there again. That could mean a ton of different things, but that's what they were showing me. The ring going like this. It was a stream of energy going like that. But again, it could be literally a ring of some kind. The last thing that they want to say is I'm looking for you. That's what they said. I'm looking for you. So they're searching for you. They are reaching out to you spiritually, like their heart, their soul is calling out to you. And then it's, to me, again, it's only a matter of time until that syncs up with the three-dimensional frequency. Okay. So in other words, communication in this realm. Wow. Wowee. So group group number 4, I have to say that's like in the top like 1% of the most intense readings that I've ever done. Definitely. I've done so many of these at this point, and that was in the top 1%. So that was a lot, but it was actually kind of fun for me to do that because it really flexed my vision muscles, which was interesting, my creative muscles. So group 4, I wish you the very best. You know, I pray for your protection because it can't be easy, and I truly hope that you and whoever it is that is your divine counterpart is moving in the direction towards healing, sending you guys peace, sending you guys love, sending you guys healing. Okay, so again, if you want a personal reading, the info's in the description. I'm going to update availability soon. If it's full, you can check the little box on the top for when I'm going to update the availability. So if this didn't resonate at all, feel free to pick a different group. But I hope that it did. Let us know in the comments how you guys are doing. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I wish you the very best. Okay, and I will see you next time. Send you love. Bye bye.